Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Supreme Formula Racing for what is round 4 here tonight at France, the Circuit de Gilles Villeneuve. Is that right?
Paul Ricard.
It might be. Paul Ricard, there we go. And there we go. And that there is the voice of our step-in co-commentator tonight, who we are so very appreciative for helping us out while our lead comms Kieran is away. So without no further delays, here he is tonight helping us out on co-comms, Ola.
Thank you very much, Swayze. Yeah, no, thank you for having me. Like you mentioned, stepping in for Kieran while he's away tonight working. But looking forward to it. You know, it's a new league, new format to racing, especially with qualifying having it being full rather than the short one I'm used to, and a plethora of fantastic drivers, which I'm sure will give us a good show tonight, Swayze.
Oh, I think, you know, I've been watching this league for a while, and there's always something to watch, something happening somewhere, whether it's up at the front in the midfield or towards the back. Especially, you know, this season we are running the MotoGP point system. I don't know if you was aware of that or had been informed, but with this season we are currently running the MotoGP points. So points go down to 15th place, and the fastest lap is open to anybody. Which makes things a lot more intriguing.
Yeah, I was going to say that adds an extra element to the league, and I think that's a great idea. I've not heard anyone else doing that. Then again, I don't know much about MotoGP. I'm more used to four wheels races, but I like the concept. I like it.
Oh yeah, me myself as well. More used to the four wheels, but if the point system works and it makes the league racing more interesting, I'm all for it.
100%. So it goes. So how many points is it for top spot?
It's
25.
Friday then. It's Saturday,
Like that,
Sunday. What? It's Friday
I'm
then.
sure Kieran will be in the chat
Sunday,
very
what?
shortly to explain all that, and we'll just load up to make sure that that the stream is on and that it is working.
Yeah, for those who are watching on the Twitch, if you can just double check, our voices seem to be okay, because it can be a bit temperamental on the Xbox. I think I can hear myself.
Yeah,
there.
it looks like it sounds okay to me. So I just checked it on my phone. So it looks okay to me. Looks like we have an overlay. Looks like we are all good. It looks like Kieran is working his magic from afar.
Fantastic. That's what we did here. Just like you said, so I was just waiting on a couple of guys to go to come into the lobby, and we should get going. But while we're waiting, sorry, do you want to just run down what happened last week?
Last week, racing.
Yes.
I don't know. I've been stoned since. Let's see. You can hear both of us fine. Thank you, Chloe. And I am very well, thank you. I hope you're doing well yourself. Right. Last week we were at Singapore, so lots happened. Who won? That is a better question. You know, you'd think I'd be a lot better at this. I've been doing it for five years with it.
I think maybe getting old, Swayze.
I am getting old. That is true. I say I'm getting old. I don't know how old everybody is. So, but it's working its way up there. I mean, my 35th was the start of the season, which is why I missed race 1. So, but yes, getting old does not help. No, Norris, you have to deal with it.
Experience.
It is experience, but not when it comes to commentating. But right, so right, let's have a look. Hang a minute, I'll bring up last week's shit. Not on screen though, obviously, because unless Kieran can do that, but I can't. Last week, so we do have a few things to update. Obviously, if he is in the lobby, Dom the Noodle will have a qualifying ban tonight, and also at the start of the race, once we do go into qualifying, I would like it to be known that we are going to be holding a 2-minute silence in memory of Hubert. So if you cannot hear me or Ollie for 2 minutes, it's not because there's anything wrong for a change. but because we're just being quiet.
Yeah, no, I think that's a nice mark of respect, Swayze, and yeah, I think maybe mention it in the chat just in case anyone comes in and is wondering whether there's an audio issue.
Well, yeah, I did think I'd mention that because it is SFR, and a night without an issue would be a very rare thing. We are normally untechnical around here. Right, let's have a look from last week in the standings as we are now heading in. So we will start our 2 minutes silence. I'm just going to tell the time from 2 minutes and 11. So we and Ollie will be back to bring you comms at 2:13. Okay, we are back. So, just to bring you up to speed there, Ollie, on your question earlier. Last week at Singapore, our race winner was T.S. Leclerc. With Constant Ryan in second, Vapid in third, and Beacon in fourth. WRS Cam was your top 5 last week at Singapore.
Yeah, it looks like
It's looking.
some of them aren't here though this week to see if they can defend their wins.
So, is this the constructors? I believe it is the constructors. So currently with the constructors, McLaren are leading the way on 71 points. Williams are on 64, Aston are on 61, and Haas 59, Mercedes 54. I mean, it really does help. It gives, especially the lower drivers down, it gives them that incentive to carry on racing. I feel, because they're still in points, and it's just a good system, I feel.
Yeah, no, definitely. Sometimes when you're racing, you may have a spin off the start, or you get the strategy wrong, and maybe stuck behind your teammate, and the fact that the points go down to 15th almost gives everyone a chance to get points. You know, this evening we've only got 17 drivers, so if there's an incident or a safety car, there's every chance of getting back in the points. So I think it's a great system, and we'll see how it plays out tonight in France. And we've got a couple of drivers out early in Q1 tonight. We've got Adam Lee, Anti-Bacon and Beacon out at the moment, and we'll see what sort of lap times they can do shortly.
Yep. Yeah, I'm just getting all the stuff up now. Right, there we go. Right. It looks like our lead car is the Haas of Antev Beacon at the moment. He's just coming through Sector 3 to start a lap. Now, I've not driven this track on this game with the many changes that this game has brought. My knowledge of this track from previous games, you know, it was always a lower downforce track, but from a quick conversation with Big Will, it seems to require a little bit more on the rear wing than it would have done previously.
Yeah, I think that might be something to do with the game as well, so with the fact that the rear end does step out a little bit more in this game compared to previous games. But like I said, it is quite a low downforce circuit with the long old straights that we have coming from turn 15 to turn 1, 7 till 8, and also 9 till 10. And yeah, that fantastic sweeping turn 10 and 11, which are great to watch from a commentary point of view. But we'll see what the guys do now, and that's a big old cut from Anti-Beacon there, Swayze, and that's a invalid lap straight away.
Invalidated lap, yeah, that is unfortunate for Anti-Beacon, but plenty of time to go again at the moment. I suspect with these two long straights, we'll see plenty of opportunities for overtake with DRS down there today. I'm just gonna, is it Adam Lee? I think it is. I'll hop on to Adam Lee because I think that is where we should be. First car now on an out lap now, the Antev invalidated. Of course, we do see Sambo sat there on a set of mediums, maybe thinking a different strategy. I would have thought maybe that's a bit weird considering it's full qualifying.
Yeah.
I would have brought them out till the second Q2 maybe. Maybe
just doing a couple of laps just to get the grips of the track. Maybe he's not used to running this being on the circuit in the past, so maybe just a practice for him. But obviously Adam Lee goes pole with the first man to do a lap time with a 1:29 flat from the Red Bull driver. We should see some more times coming in shortly.
Kirby. Is it Kirby? No, they're on out laps then, so it's going to be one of the Astons. Which one? That one.
It looks like it's Flying Caveman, but he's invalidated his lap as well. So and there's a Ferrari going straight on. I think that's Sambo going straight on at turn 8. So it's difficult to know who to stay on board with all these drivers out on circuit.
Yeah, I believe it might be Cal next. It has just gone through in a 1:31.0. So about a second difference between him and Adam Lee at the moment. Plenty more time out there to find.
Yeah, definitely, and I think, like you mentioned, they're getting used to it, and the fact that we do have full qualifying gives them that extra time to get to know the circuit. Yellow flag in sector 2. I think that's just someone coming into the pits, and I take that back. That's Dom the Noodle, who's retired. Has he gone into the pit wall?
No, he would have gone out to lock in his custom setup, return to the pits, and then he would have retired to service qualifying ban.
My error. Yes, no, you are completely right. I made a note of it as well, and I still forgot about it.
Because let's go over the line, but invalid. Antev Beacon, here he comes. A 28.3. Setting a benchmark at the moment. Who else is? Cam is now out there on an out lap. Still got quite a lot of the bigger drivers in the pits at the moment. Who is coming round next? I believe it's going to be... Is it Cal again? It is, but he's in the pits. Who's that behind him? It's going to be one of the Astons.
It looks like it's Alpaca Carbon,
Alpaca Carbon,
but
yeah.
he's going quite slow, and I think he's just starting his lap. He done a
He is on a
140.
valid lap though, so we'll
Yeah.
give him a time. He just needs to put a time in at the moment to get maybe invalidated. Oh no, dude, 146. I mean, a time is a time. We are only going to lose 2 drivers from this session, provided nobody crashes out. And obviously, Dom's already one of those drivers.
Yeah, so we're only going to be losing the one driver, and it'll be gutting to know who if you're that driver, you're the only one who's leaving the session. But we'll have to wait and see. But Alpaca Carbon, it looks like he's invalidated this lap as well, so it's going to have to go around again.
Because Lesko is on his way in. Let's go and have a look at Cam, who is actually invalidated at the moment. And there you go, Adam Lee has retired. Is that on track? Or does he feel his time is good enough to get him through to Q2?
Well, he's...
I feel like it's in the pits.
7/10 off pole with 9 minutes left of the session. I mean, it's a bold move, isn't it? With 9 minutes left of the session, we got no idea how quick some of these drivers have gone, because they've only done their first laps, and usually we get at least 2 flying laps from these drivers, maybe even 3. So the fact he's retired after the 1 flying lap, that's pretty. He's got some big kahunas on today, I think, Swayze.
Yeah, I mean, myself, I don't know, obviously Cam has just gone purple in 1, as we are watching him on stream at the moment. But yeah, back to what you were just saying there. Myself, in full qualifying, with the fact that I know they're going to throw away the set of tyres anyway, you know, why not put 4 or 5 laps on that set? You're never going to see them again.
Yeah.
It's not like it's not going to hinder you into the race.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. You know, I didn't think about that, because I'm so used to the short quali where your tyres mean a lot more. But like you mentioned, the tyres in this first session don't matter. It's the tyres in the second qualifying which are your race tyres, are the important ones, aren't they? So I think I completely
They
agree.
are.
He needs to. He could have gone out again.
And of course, even at that, even if you stay out, do a 4-minute, 5-minute session, you know, or even 10 minutes, do the whole session, do 6, 7, 8 laps.
Yeah.
You know, these tyres are literally coming off the car, going in the bin. You're going to have some fresh softs for 2 and 3. Cam, 29.2. He did purple 1 and 2, but must have dropped quite a bit of time there in sector 3.
Yeah, I haven't had a
Big
chance.
Will is out on track.
I'll have a look at his deltas, and I don't think I can. No, I can't. I thought I could, but I don't think I can.
On an outlap. Which Aston Martin is coming round? Caveman has done a nice time. He's not that far behind Ante Beacon at the moment. The only other driver into the 28s currently. Of course, I suspect there will be more, especially when Constant Ryan decides to do Constant Ryan things.
I mean, for me, Swayze, obviously, I know a few of the drivers from previous leagues and other leagues I commentate over. I mean, who do I need to focus on, and who would you say is up there and is the guy who are competing for wins most weeks?
The way I feel, this will be my first time seeing Flying Caveman, as he was. He's been away for the last couple since obviously I missed him in the first race.
Mm-hmm.
But I know he's capable of putting in some cracking lap times. I feel today we'll be looking at a big top 5 battle between Ante Beacon, Caveman, Cam, Vapid, and Ryan. With obviously Leclerc not being out, but that's not to discount anybody else. You know, those 5, because they are pretty much the big 5 that are in this race session at this moment in time. Mm-hmm. But other than that, you know, I mean, Dom the Noodle, you know, he's got some serious speed in him on this game. So he's going to be a real interesting watch, especially, you know, coming from the back. So he's going to have to fight his way through. So he's going to provide us with quite a few overtakes, hopefully.
Yeah, fingers crossed, and keep an eye on him as he progresses through the grids. But we'll have to wait and see. We could have even rain. We don't know. We don't know yet. But it looks like 5 minutes after the session, still Ante Beacon on pole at the moment. Is anyone else on there coming across the line.
I'm currently watching Generation A. It's the
Mhm.
second time I've ever seen him. A new driver to SFR, and it's impressed me so far in his debut race. He ran really well, and I'm hoping that he's enjoying his time so far, and that it starts to show in his driving. And there we go. He has gone purple through two, I believe, or according to my track map, he did. So he does have potential to be up there as well.
Yeah, he does, and he takes a big chunk of curb coming through the exit of 11 there. But luckily, he's kept it on circuit. But like I said, it was purple on my screen as well. So we'll see what he can do as he comes into the final sector. Stays tight to the curb, takes a bit of a chunk out of it, and it's very slow. Final corner comes round the final corner towards the line. Where will Generation A go? Currently 13th with no time. Up into P5.
It's not a bad time. Not a bad time. I mean, when you're up there competing with Tongoy and Mbappe, and because Lesko is also, one of those who can just suddenly pull a time from nowhere on certain tracks and just surprise you.
Yeah.
But looks like Constant Ryan is out on lap and naturally is purple. It's something we get used to seeing here. Of course, he is last season's champion here in SFR. Is Constant Ryan. He's looking pretty tasty at the moment. He went purple in 1. It's purple in 2.
Sorry.
So just hop on board with him and see how he takes this. This can be quite a tricky corner where he's coming through now to maintain speed. Some people shed too much, I feel.
Yeah, it's a tricky one, isn't it? Some people use the engine brake and slow the car down. Other people use the brakes themselves. But it's a tricky one. There's a few different lines you can take through there. But like you said, it's making sure you carry that momentum through turn 11 to set you up for 12. And it's so key for this lap. But where will Ryan go? Second place.
He lost a bit in. See, now even though he says he was purple in 3 as well, which wouldn't make sense. But
Yeah.
there's not much
Sure
between.
how that works out.
There's not much between Ryan and Beacon at the moment though. It's only we're looking at what? It's about 10th, just over.
Just over a 10th, yeah.
So I do like to watch Ryan. It's just the way he uses the track. He's very good at. Oh, we do have a spinner there in Caveman. He's getting himself back on. Of course. How many people have retired? I don't think any of the retirements are through damage. I feel people feel they've just done enough.
It looks like, yeah.
Big Will is on a lap. Just needs to get himself a decent enough time to pull. Within the 130s, and he's all right, isn't he?
Yeah, should be. Yellow flag's coming across the line. Not sure who that is for, but Will goes to 11th for now.
It was Adam Lee who retired really early, wasn't it?
It was. Adam was the first after Dom. Sambo has also retired as well. I didn't see that happening. So everyone should get through. Unless the game glitches, everyone should get into Q2 regardless.
At this point, yeah, because obviously as soon as Christo sets a time, he will. Well, provided that Christo's time is faster than Sambo's.
Yes.
Is the only driver without a time at the moment.
I'm so curious why Sambo has done a lap on the mediums though, because Q1 surely
and only one lap as well.
Yes, everyone, like you mentioned earlier, regardless of what happens in Q1, your tyres get thrown away. You don't start on your Q1 tyres. So I'm quite perplexed why he's done that. I mean, maybe he knows something that more than we do here in the commentary box, but we'll have to wait and see what him and Dom can do from the back of the grid when we get racing later on. As what was that? Some Vapid is also retired as well, I think, and Ryan.
Yeah, I mean their times are looking pretty safe at the moment. I mean even Adam Lee, we said, you know, it's a brave call retiring that early, but nobody outside of the top 5 has really. Well, Tom Gorian is where it starts to drop off from the 129.2s, really.
Yes.
We do have the checkered flag out. Christo is going through, or isn't he? He is! 31.5. And that is what happens when, I suppose, if you look at it like that, starting on the mediums now for Sambo is not a bad thing, but he would have had free tyre choice at that position anyway.
Yeah, like I said, I'm so perplexed why he's done that, but we'll see. But Q1 over and done with.
Except for Antic Beacon, who is still on the lap, I think. Actually.
It's invalidated. It looks like
Oh,
on
it is
my
invalidated,
screen.
yeah.
Yeah, so he was out previously. He was trying to improve that 28.3, but it looked like he's invalidated lap. And once these guys come in, we'll end Q1 and we'll move on to the second part of qualifying.
Most definitely. Have you got any thoughts from the times that we're seeing? Who you think the real battle is going to be between? I mean, it's really close between Beacon and Ryan at the moment.
Yeah, top 2, just over a 10th split them. So we'll see. You know, I think as the race goes on, as the quali goes on, it'll get closer and closer. It's difficult to say, isn't it? Because it's only Q1 at the moment, but very close to the top.
I've just literally noticed at the end of the session there, Flying Caveman was out on the mediums.
He was, yes.
I don't actually think he got out with enough time to cross the line to do a lap on them, so hopefully he didn't pick up too much wear. But quite a small gap there, as we can see in the standings, between first and second, and then after that it jumps by about half a second.
Yeah, big old jump there, isn't it, between Constant Ryan and Flying Caveman, but it is early doors, isn't it? So we'll have to...
It is. You know, we're not guaranteed that everyone was trying on that session. I feel we'll see what the more accurate times are in this session and how close people are.
Yeah, it'll... obviously this is a race tyre, isn't it? So they'll be pushing and making sure they conserve the wear post and pre-lap time. So we'll see what happens there. But just loading into Q2 now. It's weird. I don't normally do this. It's usually just the short qualifying. So to have multiple qualifying sessions, it's a new concept to me.
Yeah. Obviously, you know, when times get bad, low numbers, we will drop to a short if we really have to, but we do prefer to run full. It does. I feel when you do run full, it gives you as a driver just that little bit more tactical choice of which strategy you want to run.
Exactly. Yeah. No, you're exactly right. It gives you a bit more options, isn't it?
I mean, if you get through Q2 on your mediums, you're still going to be in Q3, and you've still got your softs to go for pole.
Exactly. Yeah. No, you're completely right. And you know, if you start on the medium and pole, I mean, it might be a bit tricky at the start, but you're in a great position going into the race, aren't you? So that's
true. But I don't know about this game, but if I remember correctly, the softs they wear out quite quickly here. They weren't the best of tyres.
You are right. Yeah, it's a weird old circuit for tyre wear. And you know, we'll talk about race strategy later on, maybe before the race. But yeah, we'll have to see with those mediums as Lesko takes out some of the bollards as he goes round on his first lap.
I really wish the deltas would stay up for each session. That's just annoying. There we go. There we go. As we can see, we have a wide variety of tyre choices out there now. Different strategies will come into play through this session.
It looks like, yeah, a big chunk of guys on the mediums, aren't they? But then it could be just doing one banker lap on the mediums and then move on to the softs. But got very cloudy and
I was going to say, yeah, it just
looked
looked very overcast. That's why I just hopped on board, because from the broadcast it looks very overcast. Who is first? Is anybody actually on a lap? Ah, kids, let's go.
Yeah.
But he's just started. How can he be invalid? He then just started.
If you invalidate your lap near the end of the first lap, it invalidates the next lap as well. So he's obviously
That's going to be
cut the corner late on. Sorry.
Papa Goose and Cam. The teammates are out. I'm not sure if they're running a strategy to help one another down the straights here, but they are right next to each other. Cam, I believe, is the lead car of the two. Papa Goose just behind his teammate. Papa Goose also capable of some really cracking lap times when he wants to.
Yeah, he's on the mediums now, and I don't think they're going to be working together this race. I mean, there's a big old gap between Cam and Papa Goose here, coming down the straight.
There is, but Cam is invalid right now, so he doesn't need to push. He could just tow his teammate.
He could. He definitely
Provided
could.
that Papa Goose is still legal. So hop on board, yeah, there is, if I'm on board with Papa Goose, that it does seem just that little bit too far away to be able to pull the slipstream from his teammate there.
I mean, you say that though, he's gone quickest in Sector 2, according to my screen, but Sector 2 is popping off with lots of different times coming through. Just a note as well, Big Will is making a few mistakes coming through Sector 2, was around at turn 7, and he's going slow, it looks like at turn 8 as well, so Big Will not on the best start to Q2.
So okay, just let's go invalidated. I think I'm on the right car for the first lap time. I believe it will be Papa Goose. So 132, so then it's... Which one? One of the Alpines. Cal, there we go. 31. But see, here we get different strategies coming into play. Cal opting for the softs at the moment. A lot of drivers are out there on the mediums as Antef Beacon repeats almost an identical time from session 1 there of a 28.3.
Yeah, he goes ever so slightly quicker by 2/100ths, I believe, from his lap in Q1. But a good lap so far, and he'll be trying to nurse those tyres back to the pit box. Not trying to do it any more wear than he needs to on the soft tyres.
Which Red Bull is... it's going to be Tom Gorian. He's got that DRS wide open right now. To the line for 130.3. It's not a bad time, to be honest. Some of the medium timers are looking really good. Adam Lee, 129.7 onto the mediums. That's pretty impressive.
Not bad,
And
he's going.
We'll get faster.
He's going again. It looks like he's going pretty quick in the Sector 1, so I think he might be doing another lap on those medium tyres as he comes through turn 5 and 6. We'll see if he does improve. He is ever slightly quicker by 0.060. So looks like Adam Lee trying to improve his time on his current 1 minute 29.7.
Yeah, Kizlesko just slipped in between them with a 129 moment. He is on the softs as Flying Caveman comes down, pops himself into 6th position there with a 130.2. Where is that other Aston Martin of Alpaca Carbon? I believe will be next. Can he improve? No improvement on that lap. It is going to be... Is it Big Will? It is. 131.5 for Big Will. Currently in 10th. 10th, the cut off for Q3. And he's just been knocked out. We'll have to go again. You know it. It always happens, doesn't it?
Yeah, it happens always at the wrong moment. But I'm just on board with Adam Lee as he comes round the final corner. DRS wide open. Can he improve on P3? He does, up into P2, and he improves his time by 1/10 of a second as well. So Adam Lee showing what he's made of on those medium tyres as well.
Looking pretty tasty as Adam Lee at the moment. Constant Ryan there, just gone over behind him into a 129.7 also on the mediums. It's looking like it's starting to get tight now. People are really starting to open up. Couple of soft runners still. Who is it? Are they out on track or no? Everybody on the softs is in the pits currently. Who is yet to get a lap? Vapid is on an out lap. I suspect Big Will is towing him.
I was just going to think about that, Swayze, the fact that Big Will is ahead of him. Big Will 2 seconds down on his laps, so unless Big Will in the pit.
He will
so...
box though, because you wouldn't want to put any more laps on those tyres if you're gonna start on them.
Yeah.
As he is right now, it wouldn't matter. You could technically use the other fresh set, but you might need 2 sets of mediums. I don't know if it's a 2-stop race here or not.
It's usually a 1-stop, but I've seen people do 2 stops to try something a little bit different when they're outside the top 10. Doesn't always work out. We'll have to wait and see, really. It's probably quicker doing the 1-stop here in France, but we've seen crazier things happen, I'm sure, and especially at this circuit, because in the game, this circuit is quite a good one to watch. However, in real life, it's not so good, but we'll have to wait and see.
Reminds me of Russia.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, Vapid gets all sorts of wrong coming out of turn 7 there, Swayze, and he lost a big chunk of time on his first flying lap.
Indeed. He's just coming through the chicane down the straight now. We have him on stream. Not expecting any purple. Trying to use all the track. Look at that. They've only just got 2 wheels on the right side of the white line.
Yeah, he is trying to use as much as he can, and he's got to be careful because he doesn't want to invalidate his lap by going too wide on the entry to the corner. He does the same at turn 12 as well, but it's still no invalid lap. But I think the fact, even though he made that mistake out of 7, the fact he's getting a lap on the board. I mean, I say that,
Straight
and of course,
into the box, yes.
straight into the box. It's always the way, isn't it?
Interesting. Cam is out on track, and Cam is out on the softs. And so is, Ryan's put him on, but I don't think he'll need them to get through. Definitely interesting that Cam's decided to go the opposite way. He's seen Anti-Beacon on the softs. You know, I feel if we get Anti-Beacon and Cam on the softs, and Adam Lee, Constant Ryan starting on the mediums, that could really come to a head later on in the race.
Yeah, no, people with conflicting strategies, it'll really play out once we get going in the race in the next 15-20 minutes. But looking forward to that. But Cam comes through turn 11 and 12, and guys, he looks so good coming through turn 11, 12, Swayze. He just nails those corners.
He is looking very planted at the moment, but the soft tyres giving that extra grip. Is he going to be quick enough? Is it enough to knock Anti-Beacon off that provisional pole for Q2? Second, it's a 128.5. It's not too far off. Of course, the track delta, I don't understand that showing purple in certain things, and I'm just going to ignore that.
Yeah, it keeps on popping up, and like you mentioned in the previous one, who was it? Was it?
I think it was Ryan.
Yeah, quickest in every sector, but he didn't get pole. So I'm not really sure how that works unless someone took it off him, as on the same lap. I'm not sure, but
improvement there for Cal up to 9th. It looks like we do have a few drivers switching tyres now.
Yeah, Will's jumped on the soft tyres as well. It looks
so is
like.
Ryan. And he's out on them as well. He's actually out on an out lap. In fact, he has just started. Let's go fully on board for a lap around Paul Ricard with Constant Ryan. Do love how intelligent his driving is and his track usage. He pushes the limit of track boundaries to find the maximum speed you can out of any track. He really does.
Yeah, it's he's almost on rail tracks, isn't he, Swayze? As he comes through turn 6 and 7, and he's got a couple of cars ahead of him, so hopefully no one gets in the way. It looks like Kirby pulls out the way.
Done really well there, well aware from Kirby. We
Yeah.
do have the Alpine in front. Is it Kozlowski? It is Kozlowski. He is on an outlap, Kozlowski, so there's not really an issue for him to be in the way. If Ryan does get close enough, it's not like it's going to compromise Kozlowski's lap.
Yeah, we'd hope so, unless Ryan catches him up and he's getting very close.
there. He's really closing in. There you go, nicely out of the way there for Kozlowski.
Yeah, gets up the way
Good
nicely.
use of curbs. Look at that lovely apex there for Ryan around that final corner.
He definitely does. And where does he go? P3.
I mean, maybe struggling a little bit tonight. So,
I mean, the thing is,
he went faster in the first session, didn't he?
I don't remember off the top of my head, but it looked like a good lap. But obviously,
I feel it's section 3. I think that's where the difference maker is. Where you either make your lap or break your lap at the moment.
He did lift slightly coming into to 7, so maybe that's where he's lost time. But 1 minute 30 left in the danger zone at the moment. It's Big Whale, Kirby, Chris, Papa Goose, and Vapid Coot. Well, Vapid's about to finish his lap time, but 1 minute 20 left. There's not long to go.
I'm not sure why Christo's just left the pits. I don't think there's enough time for him to even reach the checkered flag to start that flying lap. But Vapid over the line on a set of softs. 28.6. Spicing up there in that top end of the table. In fact, it's getting really close now all the way down.
Yeah, with everyone on the same strategy, it looks pretty close.
It's unusual. We don't often see everybody opt for the same one, and I suspect some outside of the top 10 once we actually get to the race may not. But right now,
yeah.
who is going to be next? Is that Kirby? Is he going to make it over the line? He is. Bang.
Yeah,
Where is Christo? Is he? I know it's Christo. I'm interested. I don't think Christo's going to make it to the line in 20 seconds.
If he cuts corners like that, he might be able to, but you've got to be careful not to invalidate his lap before he gets there. And he's invalidated there, but will that invalidate it? He's not going to make it.
We will find out. 4, 3. I don't think he will.
No.
No, has it? No, that is checkered flag.
Oh dear. Oh dear me, Chris out
So that
before.
Papa Goose and Christo out of this session with Big Will, Kirby and Cal in the drop zone at the moment. Can any of them get themselves further ahead? It's going to be Big Will next. Can he get himself out of the drop zone? He needs to be at 130.1. And then hope Generation does not... No! Will into the pits. Kirby is invalid as well.
Oh.
That is...
Okay, we go straight into the wall at 10-12.
Well, that is... Yeah, that's one way of finishing the session.
Yeah, no, you're right. And we have our 5 drivers who are out of the session in Cal, Big Will, Kirby, Chris and Papa Goose in 11th and 15th.
Generation A to the line. Will he improve from 10th? Big jump up to 6th there from Generation A. Down into the 28th. Have we got any drivers left on a lap? I don't think we do. I think that is the end of Q2. Yeah, because Let's Go is in the pits. Everybody else is either retired or checkered flag at the side. So that is Q2. Tom Gorian, the only driver inside the top 10 to be starting on the mediums.
Yeah, interesting choice for Tom there, down in 10th place. As well, like you mentioned, starting on the medium tyres. So we'll see how that plays out in the Grand Prix. But even closer in qualifying this round between Adam and to Beacon.
That is a good effort from Adam Lee. I will say that. That is a cracking effort.
Yeah, go a lap
Zero
time. And Cam's there as well. Cam's
zero
pretty
four
close as well.
zero. That is 0.4. That's I don't even think I can blink that quick.
Yeah, yeah, no, it's pretty close, and I'm sure it'll get closer once we get into qualifying with the way it's gone so far between these two top drivers. And we now move into the final part of qualifying, Q3. Will it be Adam? Will it be Ant of Beacon? We'll have to wait and see.
That is a rare question because normally I'm saying who's going to stop constant riding this week. Nobody, but I mean he's not really broke into the or put or I'd say ample amounts of pressure on for pole yet. He could be cruising, but I mean I feel like that's his pace at the moment.
It's difficult because we don't know who's sandbagging and who's not, do we? It's still early doors, but I'm sure we'll find out who is
Well, it's
quickest
easier.
coming into
I'm
this
not
race
driving,
now.
so no one. But Kozlesko straight out there, not wasting any time. I'm going to get the bloody things back up again. There we go. So Kozlesko is straight out onto his outlap. I suspect everybody in this session is going to be on softs. We won't even see a medium tyre. You'd have to be crazy to contemplate a medium tyre in this session, right?
Unless you want to do a banker lap, but I'm sure they'll get two sets of softs for the last part of quali. So, yeah, I'm not sure why anyone would jump on the mediums.
So do you think we'll see the hard tyre today then? You think we'll...
Well, we could maybe from maybe one of the back runners just to, or maybe if someone gets damaged early on, just to get them to the end. And the fact that they, then again, I mean, the fact that points go down to 15th, maybe someone would do that. It's a really difficult thing because that hard tyre isn't a nice tyre to run on regardless. So interesting to see what they do here.
Yeah, well, as you just brought up that, I think things do get fascinating towards the end because obviously as the gaps start to develop towards the end, you know, and even if you're outside of the top 15, you can still pit, throw on a set of softs and go for that fastest lap point.
Exactly. Yeah, and definitely something some of the drivers might consider near the end of the Grand Prix. But it will be Kozlesko who will start us off here in France, the final part of qualifying, coming through turn 1 and 2 in that fantastic Alpine livery, going downhill towards turn 3, 4, and 5. And yeah, done all right so far, Kozlesko, but I think he's got time to catch up here, Swayze, on some of the other drivers.
Definitely. I've got to say, as you mentioned the Alpine, I do love that car. I think it's my favorite. It's my favorite sounding car on this game. It's got such a unique whine compared to the other. Then again, it is the only car in this game with that engine.
Yeah, you are right, and the home Grand Prix as well.
They are. I forgot to mention that they are at their home Grand Prix. The drivers of Generation A and no, Generation A is in Williams, isn't he? It's Cal and Kozlesko for the Alpine team.
Yes. Yeah. But yeah, we're still on board with Kozlesko as he comes through turn 11. They're very tentative through there. Didn't push him. We just wanted to get one banker lap in early doors before going for a push lap later on maybe. But coming around the final two corners here at the circuit, Paul Ricard slow down to second. And puts his foot down, try and get as much power as he can down into those tyres before he crosses the line. What will it be? A 129.7. But time to find there.
Of course, who is that? That is Adam Lee directly behind, but he's just starting. Is there anybody else who's actually on the lap? Cam, 28.5.
28.5 from Cam. Okay, still
I think he's
2/10 off the quickest we've had.
It's roughly where he was, though, wasn't it? I mean, 28. There it is. I was going to ask you, do you think we're going to see a 28.2 today? And of course, it's that man, Constant Ryan, doing his Constant Ryan things with a 28.2. That is the fastest time we have seen all day. And that is all the ducks. 2:22.2.
Yeah, you're right. Great lap from Ryan there, and showing us what he's made of early doors here in this qualifying session. Still 7.5 minutes left to go, and what can the likes of Adam and Ante Beacon do to compete with like Ryan here in qualifying? We'll find out shortly. Adam on lap, as well as Ante Beacon not far behind him as well. So Adam coming through sector 3, coming through turn 11 and 12, and we'll see what he can do.
Valid, unfortunately, for his attempt in the final sector, which is the next one. It's going to be, I think that's Kislesko on his in lap. Where is Adam Lee? Here he is. He's just rounding the final 2 turns. Kick up a sparks there from the underneath of that Red Bull, and across the line for a 1:29.4. Now we know, or we've seen Adam Lee go faster, so we know he's got more time in him for sure.
Yes, yeah, it wasn't the best lap from Adam there, and he's going pretty hard on the second lap as well. I mean, like we mentioned in Q3, he can do as many laps as he wants to on this tyre as well, because they're going to be throwaway tyres as well.
Yep, Alpaca got just been on with Alpaca, who is the lead of the 2 Aston Martins, but is invalid. Flying Caveman just behind his teammate isn't. Going to get a nice little bit of a toe down towards the start-finish line. Can Caveman put himself into 3rd with a 28.999. That is just under the 29s.
Yeah, I don't think get any closer, could you? But good lap from Flying Caveman there. Tom Goran can run the final corner, but I think he's
valid lap this time.
It is a valid lap. It's a 29.2. Puts him up to 4th, just ahead of his teammate. Yeah. Oh, that's Adam round at turn 13 and 14. So Adam, I think he needs a new set of tyres there, Swayze. A big old mark on those ones.
I suspect the Red Bulls will be on an in lap now. We've approached the final 5 minutes. Get a fresh set, one final push. Where is everybody else that's not got a time on at the moment? Alpaca Carbon, Generation A. Let's stay on board with Generation A. Oh, this is just invalidated, as I said that. Let's not stay on board. Go jump back to Alpaca Carbon. See if he can round his lap out. I'm not entirely sure whether Flying Caveman's gone again behind him or whether he's on an in lap. But at the moment,
I think it's an in lap because he's going straight. He's straight lining a few corners.
Yeah. Oh, Alpaca Carbon's pitted. They're both into the box. Alpaca not gonna set a time on that set. Maybe he feels he's rubbed too much life out of him on those 2 invalidated runs. Very quiet out there on track at the moment. Tongorian is still out. Vapid is not yet been out. Antev Beacon. Let's watch Antev Beacon. He is only on an outlap at the moment, as is Cam, I believe. So the 2 cars that are out there. In fact, we'll have to jump to Cam because he is ahead on track. So it will be Cam followed by Antev Beacon, the next 2 cars. Cam currently in 2nd, but I mean, what are you expecting Antev Beacon to just pop straight into the top 3?
I'd expect, after his first 2 qualifying performances, I'd expect Beacon to be in the top 3 here. There is a big old gap between Cam and Flying Caveman, and we've seen how quick Antev has been. He's been in the 28 3s and 4s in qualifying already, so I'd expect a similar lap from himself here as he misses the big old chunk from turn 1, and he's struggling there, and he's round at turn 2. He's going to have to go again, it looks like, Swayze.
That is unfortunate, especially with the clock ticking. There's definitely, I don't think, enough time now to go back in and put another set on and come back out. He's going to have to limp that car to the line and go again on that set.
Yeah, I think so. Cam took a big old chunk out of turn 8 there, but somehow he doesn't invalidate it. He'll carry on going here.
Is he up? He is up one. No, he's not up. He's down. Down 1/10 on his time at the moment.
Okay, well, he can go around again. His tyres are still fresh if he chooses to, as he comes towards the line on this lap. You've got more cars coming out as well. Vapid's out as well as another Williams and an Alpine out as well. It looks like, but can Cam improve on his time after the mistakes he's made on the currently in P2 with 28.5?
Not on that.
Slower. No,
He did do a better section 3 though.
he did, but not enough.
I think it was just being that 1.5 down through the first 2 there that seems to have cost him finding some time. I think there's potential for improvement there in Cam though, if he can replicate his first 2 sectors and then put that 3rd sector on there. You know, it might be enough. At least
We'll
pushing
have to wait
him
and see.
up to 3s.
Yeah,
So quite a lot of the cars are invalid. Adam Lee, where is he? Who is going to be next over the line? Animation is on an outlap. Alpaca Carbon is just started on that. Where is Vapid? Oh, the 2 Red Bulls on the lap. Tom Gorin's on an outlap. I think Adam Lee is getting out of the way. His teammate, maybe? Or one of them getting out of the way of the other. I think it might have been Tom Gorian getting out of the way of Adam Lee there. Because Adam Lee is on the lap. And Tom Gorian wasn't. Can Adam Lee improve? I don't.
Well, it's a 1:30.
Plus 8 seconds. He was 8. Yeah, he was 8 seconds behind his own time there. So he has gone over the line with enough time to go again, though.
Yes, he has. So he will be one of the last guys across the line. Unless Vapid needs to do another lap time as he gets his first time on the board in a couple of seconds' time.
Straight into second. 28.579. I tell you what, Vapid Coot and Cam, these 2 always seem to be nipping at each other's heels. And Ante Beacon with a 28.090. I'm going to ask
Great lap.
Are we going to see the 27?
Oh, I'd love to see a 27, but it's going to be close. Vapid's going round again. He's a 10.5 up in the first sector alone. So Vapid one to keep an eye on.
So we have Vapid, Constant Ryan, Ante Beacon all on laps. It's going to be the 2 Red Bulls to be next. Adam Lee is the lead car. Adam Lee's still down in the 29s. We've seen him in the 28s earlier on. We know he has that time in him. I don't think he'll be happy with himself at the moment with where he currently is.
Yeah, where will it go though?
No improvement.
Stays there. Only an improvement by 1/10, and that's not enough for P7. He'll be behind his teammate Tom, who's up to 6th.
You did improve, yep, and now it's to Vapid.
He's 2/10 quicker in sector 3. Sorry, sector 2. Where will Vapid go as he comes towards the line?
It's an improvement, 28.4, but
not enough
to get him up a place. And to Beacon, no improvement on his 0.98. That leaves,
That's it.
This man. No, it leaves this man, Constant Ryan. No, he's not. He's pit. He doesn't feel he can have it. But I will say, Ante Beacon's done 3 laps on those softs.
Well, it doesn't matter because these tyres won't be used, will they?
That is actually true. Well, I'm sure you still have to. Hang on a minute. You only get 1 set thrown away, don't you? How many sets of softs do you get? It depends on how many they've actually used. Because
yes,
they did
right.
use a set in thingy. So if for instance, say we do get some 2 stops where they go medium, medium, soft, or soft, medium, medium.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, I suspect more the medium softs, because obviously if you're starting on softs, it'll be because you qualified on that tyre in Q2. But those who do start on the mediums may, if they've used them all, only have a set of scrubs for later on. But I
Yeah, you
feel
might be right.
you mentioned earlier that we might see a one stop. Do you think the one stop here tonight will be medium to hard?
I was going to say soft to medium, but maybe my knowledge is incorrect.
Soft? I don't know. That is. It depends, I suppose. It depends on how many laps you get out of the mediums. I feel anti-beacon. Holy crap! Well, that changes everything, doesn't it?
Don't need
That's
a
what
bloody
happens
soft
when you don't know the weather. Yeah, when you don't know the weather.
Oh dear me.
Because I haven't got the chat open, so I haven't seen if anyone did actually bother to tell us.
That's full wet. It looks like that rain is coming down hard.
See what it looks like. See, what it looks like to me is death.
I mean, you say that. I quite enjoy running around the track in the wet. In the leagues I race in. So I mean, we'll see what the guys can do here. But yeah, interesting start to this Grand Prix. Looks like with the wet tyres out for the drivers.
Yeah, that is. I've got to admit, It's not something you expect to see in France.
No, especially where the circuit is based in the south of France. But it could be winter. We don't know where the game is set at. But I mean, usually we don't see safety cars at the circuit, Paul Ricard, because of the runoff space. But with the rain coming down as well, the cars have got an increased chance of spinning into the wall with the less friction available off the circuit, so they can slide into the wall. We could have more safety cars than we expect, but we'll have to wait and see.
Quite plausible. But the question must go out to Vapid Coot. Have you been doing your rain dance again, my friend? Every week, he's calling for it. He does love the wet, does Vapid.
High expectations for Vapid then.
Well, so we hope. So I've just opened up the chat. There is Vapid in there saying, sorry people, and Cam screaming after him, Vapid! This wet race. Of course, we have a 21:11 start time in the chat for the race from our host Big Will. Yep, I would suspect that is full wets there, Nudo. It does look like full wets. Yep, thanks, Kieran. Yep, I should have known better. Of course, he's been doing his rain dance. Why wouldn't he? It's Rapid cute. Now I have the chat open, I can engage with these people. But let's see. Carbon in the chat saying he just kept dirtying his laps. Swayze always talks about the Alpine, Kieran. Scrolling back through the chat, making sure is anyone else there. Does love that car. Alpine, whichever one you want to call it. I suppose it depends on how French you are, doesn't it?
That's very true. Yeah, what sort of French accent you have, yeah.
So 29 start. So that is 2-minute race start. Just so the drivers after qualifying can nip to the toilet, get any refreshments they need, come back if they haven't been, set up their strategies for the race. Of course, we were talking 1 stop, 2 stop. Now the question is it a no stop?
Wow.
Can you take a set of full wets all the way to the end? It's been done before.
Well, exactly. Yeah, I've witnessed people not stopping at all here. So we might have a quicker race than we expected here in France. Well, it's raining, so it's going to take a bit longer, but it's definitely a plausible option. However, if the rain does
Yep, no
subside, we
problem.
might see it go from wet to inters.
You got it? Are you good?
I'm good.
I know Kieran was just in the chat asking me to pop the race director on so he can get all the top 10 for qualifying into the graphics.
I see, okay.
He may not be with us at the moment, but he is busy working away in the background. He is never one to let SFR down, always puts in tremendous amounts of effort in the background. For those who don't know and don't see it, don't understand how much work this man does for SFR, and I can't stress enough how much he's done for this league since becoming part of it. To you, Kieran, here's to you. Miss you, buddy. Hope you're having a good time working. But we are now underway on the formation lap. Oh dear, that car isn't. Which car went sideways off the line? I think it was an Aston Martin.
It was Caveman.
Yeah, that looked. I tell you, myself, this is my first season learning manual gears, and I was thinking I was coming along quite nice until the first time I tried a wet start. From a standing start, that went horribly, horribly wrong for me. You really do need to learn to be able to upshift quite early to try and control the wheel spin on the manual gears off of a wet start.
Yeah, I can imagine that's just it's not easy, even for experienced drivers. So yeah, not easy at all.
Looks like everybody is on full wets, which makes sense. I can see standing water out there on the track, and normally that's the rule. When there's standing water, it's full wets, no standing water, intermediates.
Yeah, and it looks by the graphic as well, Swayze, that it's going to be wet for the whole race. So we might not see we'll be seeing no stops at all for this Grand Prix. So we'll see if it improves, but it looks like it will be a zero-stop Grand Prix as the guys are getting into the formation lap now, and the game is taking control. So we'll see the guys line up pretty shortly now.
Because it's an unusual formation lap with it being wet, we don't tend to see as much weaving of the cars to try and get heat into the tyres like we normally would. I mean, it does beg the question, doesn't it? I mean, that obviously is to, if the drivers had all this knowledge in the first place as to why anybody even went out on the mediums and all.
Yeah, no, you're completely right. I'm not sure, because the guys would have known this, so we're the only ones not to know. So interesting choice for some of the medium runners earlier on, Sambo being one of them, as Sambo's been disqualified from the session, but I'm sure he'll be able to race any second now.
I have no idea who's just joined, but luckily for us, they cannot affect the race from here on. The grid is set as all cars come round into the box. Dom the Noodle just pulling into that final position. It's going to be interesting watching Dom come from the back, especially in the wet. I think this definitely changes our expectations of this race. But we have 4 lights, 5 lights, and it's go. Oh, very slow start for the Williams. Very, very slow. Cam got off like a rocket there. Did he jump? He might have jumped.
Yeah, Cam's already got a penalty. He's got a 10-second penalty after a jump start there. So Cam in trouble already, and Antiv already got almost a second over the rest of the grid. So great start from the Haas driver, as everyone else seems to be tiptoeing through the first sector nicely in a line. No one spins at the moment. Sambo's also placed a Dom, but Antiv leading us away by 1.1 seconds already on coming through the first sector.
Yeah, it looks like all the cars have made it through. We still have a few at the back side by side as we go around the first couple of corners onto the straight. And of course, this is going to make it very interesting to see who can save ERS, because DRS ain't going to help you anymore. Papa Goose gets the move there on Christo. Moves himself up into 12th. Now, you mentioned a minute ago you caught the penalty. You said it was a 10-second.
Yeah, 10-second penalty for a jump start. So, I believe, well, he'll have to, with no
Has that
pit
been
stop.
changed?
You can
Did
check.
it not used to be a drive-through? For a jump
Let
start?
me, no, I take that back. I'm incorrect, Tracy. He has to, if you look at the penalties, he's got to drive through there. So, Cam will have to pit sooner rather than later. Sambo's having trouble down in 17th. Made it a spin earlier on as well. But great little battle forming behind Cam here as well. Vapid and Tom having a great fight as well. But still early doors. But like I mentioned, Cam drive-through penalty, early doors.
It's got 3 laps. I mean, I'd do what Cam was doing right now. I probably wouldn't serve it until virtual safety car. We have a VSC. I believe it's probably for that Ferrari. It's still... Oh. It's just done that.
Put it in the wall, isn't he? Yeah, Sambo was round twice, coming through sector 2 there. And
that could get
it was.
upgraded now.
It
I
could.
do like that feature in this game. It's a new feature to this game, and I've got to say, I like it.
Yeah. I mean, it depends how long that Ferrari stays on circuit until, by the magic of the game, disappears without no truck coming onto the track. But
Yeah.
we'll see as the drivers come out. Yeah, Sambo. Yeah, I mean,
It has
does-
gone off the map, so we may stay on VSC. I've got to say,
looks like.
are we all back to racing? It's gone.
There we
are
go,
green-
back
we are
into
green
racing.
again. Of course, that was an important bit of time in there for Cam. Can you imagine picking up another drive-through for speeding under VSC at that point?
I've done it. I've done it before, but watch out for the Red Bulls. Adam is
Yeah,
up the
Adam
inside
Lee.
of Tom Gorin there, and I think that may be some team orders, and Adam getting past him fairly easily with no defence from Tom there, and the Red Bulls working together to try and get past the McLaren.
Just having a quick look at the back. Dom the Noodle still trying to find his way through. Of course, it's going to be a lot harder. As we have a yellow. Is that Kirby around? Christo around? Christo.
Chris. Yeah, he's round, but he's back under his own steam. Has he got any damage to that AlphaTauri? Don't think he does, but he's got a 10-second penalty for corner cutting, which not a great help to his start of his Grand Prix.
Whoa, big kick off of the curb there for Papa Goose. Did well actually to keep it out of the wall. Gonna say, that was toying with death there with those Emirates barriers. He did really well to keep it out. No damage. He can just dust himself off, try and keep cool and get his head back in the game. Dom now is closing in on Kirby, but not enough to make a move. But I think it's one of the smaller gaps that we have at the moment out there. The rest all seem to be just over the second. Adam Lee though is closing in on Vapid at a vast rate of knots.
He is indeed. And I'd also watch out for Generation A behind Adam's teammate in Tom, looking really quick coming through turn 6 and 7. And he'll have a great chance if he can get the momentum coming through turn 10. But I think he's a bit slow coming out of there. But keep an eye on both the Red Bulls because they're both or either charging or on defence.
I say maybe there is some form of special magic in the wet in that Williams.
It could well
After
be 'cause
today.
it's pretty quick.
Yeah, but after today's performance in real life as well.
Of course,
though, I
yes,
mean,
yes, you are right.
Never really too much of a Max fan. I really probably shouldn't say that on stream. I'll get hate. But today was a day that we really didn't want him to take it off of George.
No, I think we can all
As Cam
agree
is
on
in
that.
the pits to serve his drive-through penalty.
He is, and
As
that
Adam
allows...
Lee has picked up a penalty as well.
Oh, they're all getting penalties, aren't they? Adam's got a penalty. Chris got one in. Right, Cam's obviously dropping way down the grid. But look at the gap that Beacon has already, 3.8 seconds on lap 4.
He is got his toe down. He seems to be running really well and pulling away at the moment. I mean, Constant Ryan does have clean air, but he doesn't seem at the moment to be able to respond to the gap. With Adam Lee putting pressure on Vapid just behind. Adam Lee now with the penalty has got to try and make some ground so that when that kicks in, if I believe you say it was a 10-second? Or
3
was that,
seconds.
no, it's Chris though, 3
That's
seconds.
Chris with 10. Adam's got 3. But again, early doors, got more yellow flags. That's
Yep.
Papa Goose round at turn 6.
Generation A picked up a penalty there. There's no safety car signs that I see, so it looks like we are still under racing. Is that one of the Astons? Yeah, I think there was team orders there.
No,
I don't know if he
no, a Packer in the barrier.
Did he go
there,
round?
making a
Did he go
mistake.
round? I
No,
thought he went round. I was just-
he's lost his front wing. He's really struggling. A big old understick as he comes through turn 10. And there might got to be a pit stop in these conditions for Alpaca Carbon, and that's going to cost him a ton of time in these conditions. And
Yeah,
he's got
I
Big
can
Will
just-
coming up behind him as well.
Just see there, as you say, I've gone on to him, and he's missing his left wing end plate there on that Aston Martin. Dom the Noodle just trying to find his way safely past that Aston Martin as he goes up the inside into the final couple of turns. Of course, Alpaca will probably dip into the pits there and get that wing fixed. In these sorts of conditions, a loss of downforce can be horrific.
100%. Yeah, it's hard enough to drive in these conditions with a full body kit, front wing and rear wing. But you lose that downforce, especially in these conditions. It's like trying to drive the Titanic. You know it's going to crash at one point.
That's one way of putting it.
I didn't really know where I was going with that reference, and I
I like it.
Okay.
Adam Lee seems to have dropped back a little bit now from Vapid. Just back past the second as we have action or something's gone right. Is it Flying Caveman? Flying Caveman now is around as well. Oh, he's got. Ooh! That was scary there for the. I think that was Cam who just came past him as he had a massive moment.
Yeah, big old tank slapper there, but he's kept it on the track for now. Someone else is under pressure as well is Big Will. He's got Kirby and Dom behind him, and they're hunting him down. Dom maybe looking
gonna
more
go up
racy.
Oh! That was tight. They're still side by side. Oh, Dom! Was that no? What is he gonna? Where'd he go? He
It's a
managed to
long
hold
circuit.
it. Managed to hold it. I don't know.
What's time then?
I don't think there was contact. I think that was just a snap.
There's a little bit of contact with, I think, with Kirby's right side pod there and the front left of Dom. But as you know, as that corner comes together, so easy, it closes up. So I think they just came together ever so slightly, but no damage to either car.
That is the main thing. Of course, Dom making good progress at the moment. We're only 6 laps in. He's up to 10th place. Plenty of laps to go yet. Just needs to avoid those penalties. That won't help his cause.
I say that. Yeah, as you mentioned, he gets that penalty, unfortunately. But back on board with Big Will. He's under pressure as well. Tom's under pressure as well from Keslesko as well. So battles all over the track. Vapid and Adam. Oh, and that is Kirby into the wall on the exit of turn 7. No front wing left on that AlphaTauri.
Safety car. That is a safety car. There's a lot of debris, and it's not on the racing track at all. But there is a lot of debris out of there.
There is there. So Kirby, luckily, still has got all 4 wheels on his wagon. They're lucky to get away with that. He won't lose. He will lose places, but he could have lost a lot more time than he did if it was a VSC and his car was still rolling around. So puts up for Kirby, and he'll have to go put his foot down once again once the safety car's over and done with.
Do you think 6 laps in we'll see anybody pit under this safety car and put on a new sets off wets?
Ooh, I don't think it's worth it because the wets will go to the end regardless. I don't think it's, unless you had a big old lead to the car behind, I don't think it's worth it, you know. And no one really had that opportunity, unless Alpaca Carbon does it because he's in last place. I don't think it's worth it for any of the drivers.
It definitely doesn't show any signs of getting any drier out there at the moment, that's for sure.
It's tipping it down, isn't
There
it?
we go. As the safety car there picks up Antef Beacon and undoes all of his hard work from earlier on in this race. But was that it? Was there a collision between Constant Ryan and Vapid as they both picked up a penalty then?
I didn't see the collision myself, Swayze, but it looks like both have got 5 seconds there, so maybe going into the back of him slightly. I don't know, has Vapid got damage to that front wing now? Because
I think he went into the back of of Constant Ryan. Yeah, severe collision. Yeah, they hit each other on just under. I think it might be going into turn 1.
the damage to the McLaren?
I will have a look now. Can't quite see. It looks like both end plates are still there. There's no visible damage that I can see. It is very dark, so it is kind of hard, but the main thing being that both end plates are still there, so that's should keep the downforce on.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Just looking at the pit stops as well. I mean, you mentioned some drivers coming in. We had Big Will, Caveman, and Kirby. Dominoodle and Cam also all in the pits and the safety cars. You can see there's a big group of them on the mini map behind everyone else. So they've come in.
Well, I think it's a good call for Cam. After his drive-through, he'd worked his way up to behind Dom the Noodle. He had about a 4-second gap to catch up to Dom, and a big enough gap behind that it didn't affect him to pit because Alpaca had to pit earlier to fix the damage.
Mm-hmm.
So he had that gap available to put on a fresh set. So it made sense for Cam there, I think. He's now in a really good position. Of course, doesn't have to worry about that 4-second gap to close it up, as the safety car will do that for him.
Exactly. Yeah, he doesn't do that. And that is also Chris into the pits in P9 for another set of soft tyres and a front wing as well. No front wing just for the AlphaTauri, just as new set, but he will drop back behind a couple of cars here.
Now, provided that there's not another safety car, correction. That's for other things. But at the moment, yeah, with a ruling we have here in SFR, I know for a fact, Constant Ryan. What happened to Constant Ryan? He's just dropped miles back. It's just as I mentioned him, he ain't in the pits. He's gone off. He's gone off on the safety car.
Wow. Huge mistake there.
That is something we do not see very often.
The mighty fall.
That's dropped him down behind Cam. I was just going to say he will get that 5-second removed because obviously he was rear-ended and didn't have any fault for that. It's normally always the person behind in SFR. We've had plenty enough seasons that we feel the drivers should know to keep a gap, and if they can't do it, that's on them. They'll have to suffer keeping that penalty.
Yeah.
Of course, for Constant Ryan, it will be removed. But with that moment, dropping him all the way back now to 10th, under the safety. It's not something you see unless I'm driving.
Yeah, maybe. But safety car is in on this lap, and Antef Beacon will lead us away in a few moments' time. Slows the grid right down, and everyone trying to get some sort of temperature into their tyres here before the restart. And Tom Goring gets a penalty as well.
Yeah, severe collision there. I just saw that. That safety car is in the pits now. No one should overtake until the safety car line, which I think is actually before turn 1 on this track because of where the pits is.
Yeah,
before the final turn, should I say? Not the turn 1. It looks like it's a clean getaway. Let's hop back to the back because Cam is flying. Well, he's all on the back of Dom, who's all on the back. Here we go, 3 abreast. Cam is going up inside of Dom the Noodle. The Alpine there as well. Codemaster just decided it was going to change my view. Watching that, thank you very much.
Yeah, I was in the same scenario.
All of a sudden, wham, on board, like, eh?
Yeah, it's not great, but it looks like Dom's come out best out of all of that. But watch out for Cam coming down towards turn 8 there. Can he come up?
Right in behind him.
He's going to try and go around the outside, but Dom closes the door. But watch out for Cam up the inside. He cuts the corner. Dom's had to make a wide line on the next corner. Watch out for Ryan, who's got Pascal in the background. But let's stay on board with Cam as they come up towards turn 10. But I think Cam's lost the momentum. Then Dom will hold the position for now.
Actually, fully on board right now with Cam. I'm keeping an eye on the gap at the top as well with Adam Lee and Vapid. Constant Ryan, he's over a second behind though. Cam already within half a lap. I mean, oh, Cam gets a snap there.
Well, that'll close that gap up pretty quickly if Cam makes more of those mistakes. And Constant Ryan now slips between underneath that second. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and Constant Ryan has managed to close that gap up a little bit, but watch out for Carbon behind him. No pushover, and there's a bit of a gap then to Will in P11, but it's still Dom's getting away from Cam now. It's over a second.
Ante Beacon though at the moment, yet again after the safety car restart, he did this earlier on as you said. It's pulled a 2.5 second gap already. He seems to be the man in the rain at the moment. He just seems to be on a pure mission.
Like a duck to water. He's flying through these wet conditions here in France and leading the way.
Adam Lee's got that ERS. I'm assuming he had it on overtake for a split second. Would you use overtake in the wet? Yeah, I still would.
I would.
Rapid's going to go defensive. Is he going to try and send one? Letting it know that McLaren. No, he's going up the inside. Oh, brave move from Adam Lee.
Great
up
move.
Into second.
Great move there. It looks like Vapid just had no grip on the outside, and Adam steamed up the inside.
You come off of the racing line, it can get sketchy for grip. That is for sure. Yeah. We're currently looking at Kezlesko, who is being hassled by Generation A behind and has got Tom Gorian just in front. Who just went into the... Adam Lee! No! No! After making that superb move, picks up a penalty for speeding into the pit lane.
Yeah, not great for Adam there. He's already got penalties for his troubles for cutting the corners, and he's coming for a set of wets. I'm really perplexed why he's done that.
Yeah, I mean, it seems very early after the safety car restart. I mean, if you were going to do that, surely you would have gone under the safety car.
And the fact you don't need to pit on the wets because they'll go to the end. So I'm really confused why he's
I actually don't know whether they actually will or not. I mean, you'd be very close on your tyre wear. Yeah, I mean, obviously within legal legislation, there is no 2 tyres required, in 2 compounds required in the wet. But it's going to come down to tyre wear. Because let's go having a look at Tom Gorian there, but not quite close enough to do anything. And to Beacon now, that gap is opened up to 4.5 seconds almost.
Yeah, and to Beacon really giving us a charge in the lead this Grand Prix, isn't he? 4.5, he's going up 10th by 10th every corner. So the Haas car really showing us what he's made of. And it's Kezlesko, who's a bit slow through turn 8 and 9 there. He needs to carry a bit more momentum through there if he wants to catch up with Tom coming onto the second straight.
Definitely. It looks like at the moment Generation A seems to be just carrying that little bit more than Kezlesko. Although he did He closed up, but then dropped back again to a few attempts. Of course, Dom the Noodle is only... He's not that far back from Generation A and finds himself currently sat in 6th after a qualifying ban. Starting from the back of the grid, 12 laps in, he's sat in 6th place.
Not bad at all. Unfortunately, he has got that penalty though.
He does. And of course, worse than that, he has WRS Cam haunting him. And
He does.
Cam at the moment is penalty free, as we do have, I'd say, about half and half at the moment in terms of the drivers with penalties to none. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah, seven drivers, yeah, close.
Yeah, no, you're right. As it looks like Tom,
Is that because Lesko's just got Tom Gorin?
they're side by side coming into turn 7.
They're still
Onto
side
the
by
brakes.
side.
No, and it looks like
I think
Kid
Lesko's got
Lesko's-
it on. Is that? Is that Generation A? I thought he was going to go round the outside for a moment then. He's still there on Tom. He's still there. They're still side by side. Who's going to brake late? I think Tom's going to have just enough. Saying that, who's going to be... Yeah, just at the moment was able to hold that. But
just
good
about,
racing
wasn't
between
it?
the two of them.
Yeah, and you got to watch out for Kislesko up in P3 because he managed to get past Tom in the first place, but a bit of a sketch overtake, brake late to the turn 7. We'll get by, but Tom looks to be struggling in his wet condition. But pit stops for both the drivers in 3rd and 4th, and that will allow Generation A through.
I was just looking about to say, between Kislesko and Tom Gorian, they're both running about 70 and 60%, but Generation A, obviously a lot more on his ERS as the years down in his 30%. As that is somebody picking up a penalty. I can't quite see because of the Twitch banner at the top.
Papa Goose.
But we're getting close now to the halfway. Beacon, Vapid, Q, Generation A, all still on their original tyres. As is Constant Ryan, but has he closed that gap up to Cam? Not quite yet. He's not too far back. He's still really only about where he gained from the little step out from Constant Ryan. I mean, from Cam earlier, when he had that little moment, and he gained half a second on him, he seems to have stuck at the moment there.
Yeah, no, you're right. It's not really changed between both the drivers. Just looking at the positional pit stops and how everyone's gone. Dom the Noodle and Cam in a really good position here. They're about 10 seconds behind Antiv Beacon, but they've already pit on the safety car. So they're in a really good position here. However, they will have to defend from Antiv Beacon, who will have a fresher set of wets if he chooses to pit. But we'll have to wait and see.
But obviously, with them getting a free, well, effectively is a free pit stop. I'm not sure what the full time is. Yeah, I'm gonna guess it's somewhere in the region of 28 seconds to 30 seconds to take the pit.
Yeah.
It's a lot of time to bring back.
It is. The only problem for Dom is he's got that penalty. Cam is still penalty free, so Cam could be in a great position here if you can keep pace with Dom and then keep Antiv Beacon behind him as the race continues. But unfortunately for those guys, that gap is only going up between 1st and 2nd, and they're not exactly catching. Well, I've not kept an eye on the gap between Generation A and Vapid. I keep an eye on that now, but that's not changing too much either.
I mean, I'm not quite sure how he's done that. Somehow, after a jump start, serving a drive-through, Cam's managed to find himself one of the best position drivers on the grid right now.
He has, yeah. It's he obviously likes this circuit, and it's the gods have looked down on him today, and he's done all right so far. But still, we're only at the halfway point. Anything can happen. Christo may get a mistake around turn 6 there. So he's in his round and he's dropped back down to 15th.
Cam within half a second now, Dom Newton, and it's getting closer and closer. It is the closest battle on track right now, I believe. We will stay with it anyway, because it's good action. And that is, I believe, is that Ryan pitting in the background? It was. Ryan Pitts. Maybe looking to undercut those up in front. Get a bit of fresher grip.
Maybe. I mean, the problem is, though, Ante Beacon is now 8 seconds. He's almost getting 2 seconds on the last lap alone to Vapid. Maybe making a mistake. I think he has, because the gap between him and Generation A has gone down. So a mistake from Vapid, and that gap is going up and up, lap by lap from Ante Beacon. He's on an absolute charge.
I mean, you're right, that safety car, I would think he'd be almost a pit stop ahead.
Yeah, well, close to that. He's flying at the moment.
Dom the Noodle is really pushing in, at least on 6%, 4% of his ERS. He's going to be really vulnerable to Cam, who's got a lot more ERS and he's close, 2 tenths. Whew. To hop on board. Oh, you almost rear-ended the back of that Haas. Don't know whether Dom will have the ERS to defend. You're going to need a good drive around this long right-hander. So easy to lose so much speed to a car around here.
Yeah, no, you're completely right. You know, especially in these conditions, it's not easy at all for these drivers. Cam just about keeps up with Dom through there, and the top two. I say that top two, Vapid into the pits.
Yep, Vapid is pit. Ante Beacon carries on.
And Generation A into the pits as well.
Ante Beacon is our benchmark now for how far you can take a set of wet tyres.
You're right. Yeah, I mean, he's had the same set on since we started. Ante Beacon then gets a penalty for his troubles as he comes
And so does
through.
Cam.
And so does Cam.
Oh, he has picked one up at some point. It wasn't just then. I know we were saying earlier that he was penalty free, so let's have a quick look at the penalty situation. So that levels the playing field between Dom the Noodle and Cam. That is an on-track battle between the two.
It is indeed. Yeah, I'm sure Cam was going to give it. Dom was going to, regardless of the penalties or not, he was going to give it his fullest in the fight. But again, like you mentioned, his ERS usage down to the single figures now, and he needs to save, but it's so difficult because he's got Cam all over his back end. I think there wasn't it? As the Mercedes looking pretty racy, goes to the outside line, coming in.
Whoa! What the hell was that, Dom?
Cross him there. Can he go around the outside though through turn 10? He's going to try his best. Can he do it? No, he can't. Does he pop to the inside through 11? No. Defensive job from Dom there. My God, that was close through turn 10.
That was some overly aggressive defending. I'm going to have to say it.
Maybe Dom didn't know where Cam was as he cut back across the circuit. I'm not sure, but yeah, bit dangerous there from Dom coming at the exit of 9.
As Ante Beacon is in the pits. He went 16 laps on those tyres.
Only problem for Antiv here is he's going to come out in a big. Well, it depends as he comes towards the line, but can Adam jump him here? I don't think he can. Antiv's come out. Plenty of space.
I thought he was going to get a penalty for jumping the white line. Then he was very, very close to cutting that white line on exit there was Antiv Beacon.
Yeah, so he's got 5 seconds to Alpaca ahead of him. All he's got is pitted already, so they can go to the end. However, Antiv has got fresh, wet tyres, so I'm sure he'll close that 5-second gap pretty quickly to Alpaca Carbon and Cam and Dom the Noodle very swiftly now with 10 laps remaining of this Grand Prix.
I mean, that shows you how fast Antiv Beacon is driving right there. I think there was contact again between Cam and Noodle there. That's 2 changes of directions. How many changes? How many? Come on, Dom. You should know the rules on how many times you're allowed to change direction.
Yeah, it's Dom maybe pushing his elbows out a little bit too far there, coming through turn 10, and I hope he doesn't end in tears between the 2 drivers here, as having a great race coming through that sector. But it's the same period on the track, isn't it, Swayze, where Dom loses the ERS usage to Cam, and we can see how quick Cam is on the exit of turn 9, and he's got to be careful, otherwise they'll both be in the wall.
Oh yeah, you can definitely tell as well that I feel like with these 2 fighting, look how fast Alpaca Carbon's closing on them.
Exactly, yeah.
And that's going to
was
bring
over a second.
Ante Beacon straight back into the fight for sure. I mean, the fact that he came out in 4th and he hasn't bit on the safety car, is, you know, it just shows you how fast he has actually been running in this race. Ante Beacon, he really is performing well tonight.
Yeah, he closed almost 2 seconds on the last lap alone. But I think the main fight is between the top 2. As Cam has to switch back through 6. Can he pop it on the inside? No, he can't. Watch out for Alpaca Carbon. He'll have the advantage here, Swayze, but it doesn't look like Cam somehow gets a good exit out of 7 after making a mistake through 6. And it's back on board with Cam as they come up to turn 8 and 9. He's got to do something differently here, Swayze, because he hasn't been able to get past him.
I'm fully on board this time.
Look how slow he is. Look how slow Dom is through the exit of 9. Where can Cam make the overtake? Does he wait till turn 11 maybe?
I don't know, he's running really, really low, but he's going to go left here. Dom's going to come left with him. It's just,
he's got a lift.
Yeah, I think the thing is, I think Cam just ran out of, he's just running out of ERS power just before the overtake's complete, and it's allowing Dom to come back through.
Yeah, and the problem is now they're both on the same ERS usage, or very similar. So Cam's got to try and save somehow to get past him now. And the problem is though they've got Carbon here, and Ante Beacon is only 1.3 seconds behind as well. So it will be a 4-way fight for the lead on lap 19 as they cross the line. So it's getting intense here, and it's well, it looks like Cam's on the charge here. He's not going to get him into turn 1, I don't think. But it's getting very close, and the elbows are really coming out to play here.
Yeah, that's one way of putting it. I mean, of course, I'm just hopping back, looking at Alpaca Carbon. You know, this battle is slowing them down, each other down that much that Ante Beacon, well, obviously we know how fast he has been, but that 4-second gap's gone in a lap. He's right there, and you know, the way he's been driving, he's not going to mess with it. I don't feel he's going to mess. I feel like if there's an opportunity, we will see. Oh, back up to the front. Oh, they're almost touching again.
Yeah, I think we might have to have a chat with Dom with the multiple moves in the braking zone. But
yeah,
they go again. But I think watch out for the other 2 in behind in second, third, and fourth. It's Alpaca Carbon who's looking racy here, trying to get past the Mercedes, and Ante Beacon taking his time through there.
I'm just looking back. He's going up the inside. He is. He's around up the inside. Ante Beacon, what a move there around that long right-hander on Alpaca Carbon. But can Alpaca Carbon come back at him? This is where it's going to get dicey for Ante Beacon coming into the front 2 battle. The way those 2 are battling each other so hard. They fight me so hard.
Well, watch out down the inside to the last corner.
Ante Beacon is going to get in front of both of them. What a move! Oh my God! What an exit from Ante Beacon. I know he's on fresher rubber, but whew.
And Dom's down to 4th place after leading, coming into the penultimate corner. 1st to 4th, they're on 1 corner. And what
he had
a
really bad exit. A really bad exit there for Dom. But
well, he couldn't hit the apex because he had cars on the inside and he was on the wet line, so he was stuck.
Incredible.
Watch out for
at the moment.
Adam Lee as well getting involved with the fight.
Of course, yeah. But if Alpaca Carbon can stay to the end, you know, he's out there amongst the top 5 and he's the only one that's penalty free.
Yeah, but he has an awful exit out of 7, and it might give a chance to Dom to get by, but I don't think he's going to be able to. But
We have
more
a
yellow
yellow
flags.
flag.
Who is that? It's Will round.
It is unfortunate for Big Will. He was running pretty decent. Of course, with his team is that Vapid just getting up. Vapid and Kiz, let's go. Still battling each other. I'm not sure which one of them's ahead. They're side by side. They've got plenty of room between them. Vapid is still ahead. Is he going to maintain it? He's on the inside line. He should. Yeah, I think he's got the move done there, Vapid on Kiz, let's go.
Yeah, I mean, great respect the fact they went side by side through 10, and that's a difficult corner in the dry to go side by side, let alone the wet. So great respect for racing both the Vapid and Kozlesko there, fighting for P8 and 9.
They definitely seem to give each other plenty of room throughout that. Adam Lee is now just about half a second now behind Dom the Noodle. Alpaca Carbon running well, 38% on ERS. Anti-Beacon is not even needing to use it really, is he? I mean, he's just happy days, 4-lap old tyres. Nice, easy finish, provided there's no safety car for to the end now. Anti-Beacon should have a nice, easy run. We know he's got the potential to build the gap. He's going to have to. Let's have a quick another look at this penalty situation. Cam has 6 seconds, so Anti-Beacon has 3. Now, if Alpaca can stay within the 6 seconds of Cam.
Dom and Adam, Swayze side by side.
Keep an eye on this battle. Adam manages to get by. He's got a lot fresher tyres than Dom at the moment as well. And a lot more ERS.
Yeah, he does.
Really well.
Yeah, the only... Yeah, I mean, Alpaca Carbon in a really great position here with the amount of penalties that are around him. The only problem he's got is just a quick look at those penalties around him.
What is he? In the moment, though, yeah, he's only just... Yeah, he's...
Only just losing the lead.
Yeah, he's not quite close enough to be able to get Anti-Beacon at the moment. And I suspect Anti-Beacon will extend that gap even more, but definitely, you know, he's got easy the 6 seconds that he needs to stay within Cam. He's only 5 laps.
Yeah, and then obviously back to Adam Lee's 11 seconds, so I think he secured that, but the problem is, watch out for Dom, who's still pretty racy. If Dom get past him and gain that 3 seconds, it might be a different story. More yellow flags in sector 3. Who's that round? Is that Kozlesko?
Yeah, I think it might be.
Kozlesko's round as well.
Yeah, but he is back on track and moving. We hop back up to this front 3 battle. It is, I think, the first battle on track right now.
It looks like, yeah, at the moment, and like you mentioned, I mean, Alpaca Carbon staying with Cam here, and that's what he needs to do, as long as he stays with him, and make sure he doesn't get involved with the fight behind him. Adam is pretty quick though, with those fresher tyres, but Alpaca Carbon doing a great job at the moment.
Yeah, strong finish if he can pick up that 2nd place for Alpaca Carbon. Especially with Leclerc winning last week as well. Good points for the Aston Martin team.
Yeah, 100%.
At this point now, I suspect the Big Will has DNF. Unfortunate for Will there. It's recent as well as it is in Sector 2.
Putting the wall on the exit of turn 9, it looks like, and We're not going to have a safety car. It looks like just got a yellow flag coming through through those corners, so no overtaking.
The other car. No,
I'll
it
say
is.
that.
Oh, it is.
Safety car.
Wow. That, you know what that means? What? 2 laps going on 25? 3 laps of racing at the end? Or 2 laps? It's got to be minimum of 3 or 2, right?
So it depends. I mean, the problem is everyone's spaced out.
Yeah. Those
So
at the
it'll
back.
take longer. So it'll be 2 laps. It looks like.
Yeah, well, those at the back now. Perfect opportunity to go. You know what? We could see one hell of a battle for the fastest lap point right now.
I think so. And also, does anyone risk it for the pits now? Is anyone top? Is it top?
Everybody is getting points one way or another if you finish from here.
Yes, you're right.
It's just going to be a case of where, I mean, for certain, some Cal, Papa Goose, they're 28 plus seconds back behind Christo. If I was one of them, Papa Goose already has. That's probably why he's 28 seconds back. But yeah, I mean, why wouldn't you?
Cam's doing it. Cam's pitting.
Don't know if I would at the front.
And Adam Lee and Dom all taking the pit stop.
And Antis didn't.
Interesting.
I don't know. I'm not sure on that one. I mean, by the time this safety car comes in, you're looking at 2 laps. And in those 2 laps, not only have you got it... Oh, Adam Lee's gone on to the intermediates.
Has he really? Interesting indeed, that.
But, you know, this is what I was saying. Yes, it's fresh tyres, but... Dom is now in 7th, and is he out of the pits yet? Has everybody else pitted behind him? I think they have. So I think he'll be alright and come out yet. So he's dropped from 4th to 7th. 2 laps. And it has to not only, you know, I mean, it's the traffic, isn't it? You can get caught in that traffic. You're not necessarily guaranteed to get... I think Alpaca Carbon, right now, in 2nd place by staying out, penalty free.
Yeah.
I know, 2 laps. Can Antis Beacon pull that gap in 2 laps? Or is Alpaca Carbon possibly just pulled a genius move and looking at a race, could be on for a race win?
That's the thing here. Anton Beacon's going to do a lot of work. It depends how many laps you get under the safety car. But the problem is, though, look at the gaps on circuit we have. Cal is only crossing the line now. It's going to take him another lap to do that. So we could have 3 racing laps behind the safety car. So Brantic would have to claw a second a lap. A lot of work to do. So it's a tricky one, isn't it?
It's going to be 2. We'll find out soon enough. Of course, and the penalties are on stream. If Alpaca Carbon can stay within 3 seconds of Antis Beacon for the final racing laps once we do get back underway here, he could be winning.
He could indeed. He could indeed. And of course then we'll jump into lap 25.
If you want to know how hard it is to make places in the rain, look at Austin Ryan. He's never really recovered.
He's not, has he? Yeah, I think other things have happened, I think, since his incident earlier on under the first safety car. He's coming into the pits as well, so he's obviously got damage to that car. Anyone else on the Inters? And Kislesko, Ryan pitting.
That's gonna hurt him, I think. I think the safety car will come in this lap no matter whether the pack's caught up or not. I think it's programmed to, I believe, it can't go. That's a joke, that's the dog you can hear in the background there, if you can't hear him.
Yeah. It's just one of those moments when you're on screen, all the noises that you don't want to happen annoyingly happen, don't they?
Yeah, that does happen. It's normally my luck of all people. Let's get rid of these penalties. We have one. Constant Ryan's gone for the Inters. I know what he's. I know, but yeah, he's going. I think we're going to see a fastest lap battle in the last 2 laps between those drivers now. Just let's go. Constant Ryan, Adam Lee.
I think it's too wet. for
That's
Inters.
yeah, that's assuming that you can even get a faster lap out of the Inters than you can out of the wets.
It's sopping. I think that's a mistake from the Inter drivers there.
I'll just point out
To
right
go on
now.
this lap.
Yeah, I figured it would be whether they caught up or not. I think it's programmed to finish with at least 2 racing laps. But can I just say, 20 lap old tyres for Alpaca Carbon. 20.
Well, I did say at the start, you can go to the end. They won't feel good, but you can. And he's pitted earlier on under the first safety car. And Beacon needs to gain 3 seconds in 2 laps.
Nah.
Can he do it? We'll have to wait.
If
we'll
you're
have to wait
Alpaca
and find
Carbon, do you fight the cars behind, knowing that they've all got penalties? Or do you just let them go and stay within that gap?
It's a difficult one here, but Alpaca Carbon's already lost time. He's already 8 tenths behind the leader.
Yeah, and we're not. Are we underway? Oh, yep.
We are. Lights out and away we go.
It's just a safety car on my screen. Oh, there you go, it's gone. It is go, go, go. Generation A is looking all over the back now of Alpaca Carbon. I think the best thing for Alpaca Carbon to do is just concentrate on his driving, make sure that he does not pick up that 3-second penalty in the last 2 laps.
Anti Beacon's got a second penalty. He's got 6 seconds of penalty. All Alpaca Carbon needs to do is not get a penalty and he wins this race.
I believe Generation A also has 6 seconds. This is why I was saying, do you let them go?
Well, yeah, why not now? He's got 9 seconds Generation A.
That. Yep, 9 seconds for Generation A. The only one he needs, the least penalties behind him is Vapid at the moment. But, I mean, if Alpaca Carbon pulls this out of the hat like this, I've got to say, it's a surprise. It's not somebody I would have picked for the race win today. That is for sure.
Well, it started in P10, he's managed to go up to P2, and he's just got to keep that car on the road and get no penalties, and it is in his hand at the moment. It's all down to him. Pressure from Generation A behind him. Just keep his cool now here, Swayze, and you can get the win.
Just one more lap to go after this one. I have not seen a fastest lap pop up. Well, I wouldn't have done that. I've only been racing on that. We have to wait for it to get to the line. Oh, there's been an incident. Is it the? It's because Let's Go, the Inter's gone round.
And Adam Lee is going slowly as well.
We won't see a safety car now, though. That's for sure.
No, we will not. Final lap, and if Beacon can gain as much time as he wants, it's not going to be enough at this rate unless Alpaca Carbon gets a penalty or makes a mistake. 2.6 seconds splits first and second. If only Andy Beacon didn't cut turn 1, he would be in a great position now. 2.7, that gap's only going up, but I don't think it's going to go up to 6 seconds in half a lap.
It will be interesting to see. Look at, yep, 2.9. I think you're right, you know, if he hadn't have picked up that extra penalty, I feel Antiv Beacon may have just about be able to hold on for the win. Yeah, over 3. But Alpaca Carbon, Generation A, side by side. If I'm Alpaca, I'm not fighting this. Let him go. That's what I would have done.
Yeah, and he's let him go pretty easy. It looks like there, Swayze, and he just needs to finish. That's all he needs to do. Just finish this. All 5 corners left on this Grand Prix circuit.
And I'm not entirely sure if that is Leclerc's car from last week, as he is not with us this week. But if it is, it took Leclerc to victory last week, and it looks at this present moment like it could be taking Alpaca Carbon to victory this week. Yeah, down to the line. Antiv Beacon crosses the line in first. Generation A in second. Alpaca Carbon, he jumps up, takes the race win. Vapid Q into third. Dom the Noodle from the back of the grid finishes 4th.
Yeah, not bad from Dom there, but great job from Alpaca Carbon to nick the win there. And in the end, it was only 8 tenths that split him, so it got very close right at the end.
Generation A in 5th, WRS Cam in 6th, and the screen went off before I could complete that rundown. But I'm sure we will come at a full list in a second. Come on. Driver of the year, driver of the day, Dom the Noodle. Actually, that's the point. Who would you give driver of the day to?
I think it's Dom. Great props to him. But for me, it's got to be Alpaca Carbon. Just the way it's worked out for him. Props to Dom, but I think for me, it's Alpaca Carbon.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to second that. Great awareness to know to stay out under that last safety car there and to not go in the pits, gain those positions and hold on to them through the fact that he managed to drive so well that he was one of only 2 drivers who didn't pick up a penalty, I believe.
Not many penalties at all. We'll quickly look how much penalties for that day. But Alpaca Carbon gets the win with Ant Beacon in 2nd. Vapid Coupe takes 3rd. Dom Noodle in 4th. Generation A 5th. Cam down in 6th. Tom, after a poor start, finishes in 7th. Kirby 8th up from 13th. Flying Caveman down in 9th. And Constant Ryan rounds to the top 10. It's Let's Go 11th. Papa Goose 12th. His countryman Cal in 13th. Christo in 14th. And then Adam Lee didn't finish, as well as Big Will and Sambo rounds off the drivers we have here. So everyone scored points in today's Grand Prix.
That they did. Just inviting in the top 3 finishers for a quick podium chat. Okay. Once they are all in, I think they're all in. Are we all in?
Just to say, Swayze, I've unfortunately need to dip, so I'll have to leave the questions to you this evening.
Okay, it's not a problem, Ollie. Thank you very much for stepping up tonight and being here while Kieran is away. It's very much appreciated. A lot easier than doing this job on your own, so we do appreciate that, mate. Thank you very much.
Not a problem. Thank you for having me, and well done to all the drivers, and thank you for everyone to tune in tonight. It was a pleasure. I look forward to doing it I look forward to coming back another time. Good night.
Right, good night, Ollie. Thank you, man. Right. It's just Rapid that we're missing, I believe. Is it just Rapid that it is, isn't it? It's Rapid that we are missing. Rapid! Party, now, in. Thank you. Much love. Right, guys. Welcome to the podium. Of course, we are streaming from the Xbox this week with Kieran being away. So, you guys, please make sure that you do open the party and tick the box for your audio to be included. Okay, and with that, we will start with Vapid, if he is in and ready.
Yep, good.
Awesomeness. Well, Vapid, master of SFR rain dancing, causing yet another threat race here in SFR. How did it go for you tonight? Obviously, you found yourself on the podium, but a very, very tricky race throughout. Talk us through your perspective.
Well, congrats, guys. First of all, congrats to Alpha and Beacon. The well-deserved results. They did absolutely nothing wrong that race. I don't know what it was. I had a lot more grip in the dry compared to the rain, and I was running a lot more straight line speed because obviously I was like, wanting it to be dry, but I still went for it because I did some wet practice and before the race, and everything kind of felt fine. But for some reason in that race, I had no rear grip at all. So every time I tried to get in the power, the car just it was either just going to get out of shape or I was going to spin. So ultimately, that just cost me a lot of pace. Doing the race, I generally couldn't keep up with the guys ahead because just with the lack of grip I had at the rear of the car, just it was either push and risk crashing or just try and take what I can. So overall, I'm happy with still getting P3 after what I thought was going to look quite disastrous at one point, but I managed to kind of haul it back and move on.
Yeah, well, again, congratulations, another podium for you, you know, regular staple in SFR. Like I said, very, very tough race, and any podium in this weather is a great podium, so congratulations, Rapid.
Thank you.
So on to our second place finisher, and possibly the most unluckiest man in SFR tonight in regards to safety cars killing the advantage that he worked so hard to make and to Beacon meet. Welcome to the SFR podiums. Unfortunately for you, it is only a second place tonight after what I can only say was an unbelievable drive from you. So much pace in the wet, mate. Talk us through it.
Yeah. Coming into this, no practice at all in the wet on this game, so anything could have happened. Fortunately, because this game's incredibly realistic, I could take most of the dry lines, so I got away with it, I think, quite a bit. And yeah, the pace was absolutely rapid. I think in the end my fast lap was about 1.5 seconds quicker than anyone else's fastest lap, so yeah, pace is clearly there. Built out the gap first time round, safety car, so lost all of it, 20 laps to go. I thought, okay, okay, we'll give it a go, and was able to pull out really good gap, was able to play the strategy well, ensured I was on fresh tyres at the end compared to the likes of Adam, who I thought I'd probably be battling if he did the undercut. Was able to get past the 3 drivers ahead of me really quickly, only took about half a lap of actually battling them, and yeah, was able to build out a really good gap, and then of course, why not, chuck in another safety car at the end. I tried
Yeah, why not?
Really tried, got in the end only 8 tenths in it, and I mean, 2 of the warnings, I only got 6 warnings in total, and 2 of them were me in the early stages nearly spinning off the track and losing time. I didn't clip it, and I think because it's driver error anyway, it's not something that would be removed, but it hurts quite a lot. But yeah, we'll move.
Yeah. Honestly, mate, I understand totally where you're coming from. Whether it was the safety car killing your gap or that final last penalty where you were, obviously, if you didn't got it, you would have still had that race win with the 3 seconds. But it's just a matter of unfortunate luck for you tonight. But don't let that take anything away from the drive you put in, mate. It was an absolute beast of a drive, and our current ringmaster Rapid, mate, you need to watch out in future. Wish him for racing, I'll tell you that. But seriously, well done on tonight, Anthony Beacon. Great drive.
Yeah, cheers, mate.
Great second place. Shame it's not the win for you, but you know how it goes.
Yeah.
That's racing. So on to our top step, our race winner here tonight, Alpaca Carbon. Alpaca, what an inspired call to stay out under that second safety car. Was there ever a doubt in your mind you were pitting or not? Talk us through your race, mate.
Yeah, no, I had to stay out. It was, just in my head I knew that some people were going to pit, and I knew that going to safety car for a couple more laps, my tyres weren't too shot. So I knew I'd at least get, the safety car, I knew there were going to be only like 2 laps left, so it was worth the gamble with everyone around me on penalties. And yeah, but it was a tough race at the beginning. I sort of made a mistake, hit the wall, had to come in, get a new wing, and I just knew from there I was going the whole way on them tyres.
And then did 20, was it, I believe, 22 laps on that set of tyres, or was it 23?
I think
Close
it was
to
about
one
that,
or the
yeah.
other. But it's an outstanding distance to do on those tyres. They must have been screaming for their life by the end of that race.
Yeah, it was getting a bit tough, and obviously, especially after the first safety car, I think everyone started pitting. I stayed out, and then obviously everyone all that pitted, and they started catching up to me, Cam, and Dom, and I was just letting them two sort of battle, and I see Antiv sort of coming up quite quick, and I thought, well, I'm not going to battle these. I'll let him sort of disrupt the two guys in front, so I sort of let him through, and then he did exactly that, and he disrupted the two, and I managed to start getting through them and following him through. So, like, sort of, for once, I just like be smart and pick my battles wisely, and even on the last lap, I let I can't remember who it was, but I let it through.
Generation, I was going to ask Generation A. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no point.
Let him through.
Yeah. No,
we were talking about that in during the commentary. Were you aware of how many penalties were around you, and that was the wiser thing to do?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it was.
Nevertheless,
there was a lot of thinking.
Absolutely.
I just had to drive smart.
Yeah, well, nevertheless, mate, an absolutely outstanding drive and incredibly smart drive as well to stay out under that safety car, utilise the fact that you had no penalties. Those last 2 laps must have been so nerve-wracking, thinking, do not pick up the penalty, do not pick up the penalty, do not pick up the I don't know how many warnings you were on.
Yeah, I had one warning.
Well, yeah.
And I was trying not to. My main concern was not to spin. So, and Antiv was so quick anyway. So I feel for him, for not getting the win. But when he got that second penalty, I was just like, right, now I've just got to just stick within that time, and it should all be good. But yeah, I do feel sorry for him. He was very quick.
Well, congratulations on the race win. I think smart driving at the end and a bit of luck your way brought it you. But that's the way it goes in racing. You're on the top step. You are winner for round 4 here in France. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you, man.
Also, driver of the day from both me and Ollie tonight as well.
Oh, brilliant.
So congratulations on that.
I appreciate it. It was good racing from quite a few people on track, especially having a little battle with Cam and Dom as well. So, respect to all the drivers.
Yeah, we did see that bit where all 4 of you went around the final corner. And
that was brilliant.
You can just manage to. What an exit he got out of that corner! I know he's still in the party talking like he ain't, but what an exit you got out of that corner! And was it 2 in 1 or 3 in 1 ran there for you?
Yeah, it was, and I was trying to hopefully latch on to him and let him pull me up the straight, and I managed to get Dom, because I think Cam made the move on Dom while Antiv made the move on both of them. So I thought, well, I need to start making moves now.
It was incredibly brilliant to watch. So thank you very much, and of course,
thank you. Good
luck for next week for round 5. I would tell you what track, but I'm not researched it, so I don't know. Unless you, of course, know. Does anybody know what the track is next week?
China.
Anybody? Oh, Jesus Christ.
And I'll mess it up on night shift, so I want to cry.
Oh.
That's unfortunate for you, my friend. Obviously, we're doing so well so far at the start of the season. It's never fun when you miss a race. But
I'll take a wet
that
China.
is... I'm sure you would.
I'll just take China full stop.
I'm not a fan, gotta say I'm not a fan. I think for me it's the final long right hander round onto the back straight that I absolutely can't stand. But that said, I've not yet played it on this game, so I'm not going to criticise it any further until I do. But with a loss of downforce compared to previous, I don't suspect it's got any better. But with that said, we will be back next week on Saturday for round 5 at China. I'm not sure. I believe Kieran is still away. It is my belief that we will have Warder with us for next week. So please tune in then for all your SFR racing needs. And remember, guys, just for Kieran, competition is key. We'll see you all next week. Thank you very much. I've lost my bloody control pad. I put it over there. There it is. Right. Thank you all very much, and we will see you all next week.